The PlayStation 5 is shattering records all over the place in terms of popularity and sales, but according to recent analysis by NX Gamer and Digital Foundry, it might be the best $400 to $500 you'll ever spend if you're a gamer.
Don't ask questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next product.
What's up, PlayStation Nation? Today's first story, we're going to talk about the PlayStation 5.
Oh my god! Wow!
Now, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that the PlayStation 5 is one of the most popular pieces of technology in recent memory. You can't find this thing on shelves. Honestly, you can't find anything on shelves right now when it comes to tech. Specifically with the PlayStation 5, it is selling like hotcakes. There's multiple reasons for this, but one of the most important reasons, the most important reason, is the games. It's had one of the best launch lineups in forever. Honestly, I got the PlayStation 5 at launch, and I've had some of the best experiences on that console for $400 that I could ever have. I've played games like Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Returnal, Demon Souls, Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
A good question. Let's find out. One, two, one, two, one, two, one.
So number one, the console has games in spades, but also with next-gen consoles, you're looking for an upgrade when it comes to power. I went from a PlayStation 4 Slim to the PlayStation 5, and the power upgrade is nothing short of miraculous when it comes to the SSD speed, the GPU, the CPU, and the whole nine. Mark Cerny did a deep dive before the PlayStation 5 launched, and some of the things that he was talking about, not a lot of people were buying what he was selling when it comes to the haters, especially on the Xbox side where they were boasting the world's most powerful console. They quickly changed that to the world's most powerful Xbox because they were touting 12 teraflops of power, and when it came to the CPU on the PlayStation 5, they were saying it was overclocked.
Oh my god, who the hell cares?
It's Ryzen chiplet design where you have the memory controller independent from the chiplets, and the chiplets are known as CCXs, and those intercommunicate through the Infinity Fabric.
Today, I'm going to talk about specifically the GPU because at launch, it was released that the PlayStation 5's GPU was going to be 10.3 teraflops up to 2.23 gigahertz. And when people heard that number and they compare that to the Xbox, they immediately thought, well, the Xbox is just going to dog walk the PlayStation 5. But almost a year later, that has not been the case. And actually, it's been the opposite. The PlayStation 5 has outperformed the Xbox Series X in numerous head-to-head comparisons for third-party multiplats. The list is long, so I'm not going to waste your time. I will link a list of games that outperformed the Series X in the description, but most recently, Alan Wake Remastered came out, and Digital Foundry had a chance to do some analysis on that game, comparing the Xbox Series X to the PlayStation 5, and long story short, the Xbox Series X version of the game has screen tearing, it has dips below 50 in terms of FPS, so the PlayStation 5 gets another win. I'm going to play the video so you can hear it from the creator's mouth.
There are some exceptions to the 60 FPS line. Series X is mostly in the right place, but you will see drops under 60 at points, and when it does, it invokes full screen tearing. A glance at a busy environment gives flashes of tearing. Meanwhile, big battles using the flare gun, for example, pulls performance down to the 50s and very occasionally under that. It's not a total deal breaker, but still, a surprise that the most powerful console on the market, running a native app no less, isn't cruising through. Last up is the PS5 release. There isn't a huge revelation in this case, except for one point. Unlike the Xbox versions, PS5 has no screen tearing when it drops its frame rate. So the PS5 edition runs at the same 60 FPS target when it...
So as you can tell, another win for the PlayStation 5.
Last up is the PS5 release. There isn't a huge revelation in this case, except for one point. Unlike the Xbox versions, PS5 has no screen tearing when it drops its frame rate. So the PS5 edition runs at the same 60 FPS target. When it does drop though, expect to see marginally harder hits under 60 given VSync is engaged throughout, with no way for it to render partial elements of the frame. In other words, there's simply less flexibility for when a frame can be pushed out, and as a result, frame rate drops are more easy to pick out by eye.